Good morning, and how's it going today, everybody? Matt here, and it's day 8 of the Push for Better Canada push up challenge. Today's target was 94 push ups. I did my 94 push ups in the next 4 clips that you'll be seeing. I'll be giving today's mental health fact. Today's a little bit on a somber note on today's mental health fact. I guess it's all a little bit somber in a way, but today's hits it impacts a little bit differently, I would say. Today's target was 94 push-ups. The number 94, or the 94 calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada. The 94 calls to action are actionable policy recommendations designed to aid the healing process in two ways: acknowledging the full history of the residential school system and creating systems to prevent these abuses from happening again in the future. Now, if you guys aren't from Canada or aren't unaware, didn't catch the news story when it broke, early back in May of 2021, archaeologists detected what they believed to be over 200 plus unmarked graves at an old school in Canada, and it brought new attention to one of the most shameful chapters of my country's history. Starting in the 1880s and for much of the 20th century, more than 150,000 children from hundreds of indigenous communities across Canada were forcibly taken from their parents by the government and sent to what they were called residential schools. These schools were funded by the state and run by churches. They were specifically designed to assimilate and Christianize indigenous children by ripping them from their parents, their culture, and their community. Children were often referred to as savages and forbidden from speaking their languages or practicing their traditions. Many of them were physically and sexually abused, and thousands of those children unfortunately never made it home to their parents. So, the short way to summarize it up, it was a cultural genocide. This is something that, being a Canadian and being a white person myself, I know that I personally, obviously, I wasn't even born at the time, but me myself never participated in anything like this. But it brings shame to know that my people, like I'm not Christian, for example, but I do believe in God and the church and a higher power, heaven and hell, and so forth, the Bible. And it just hurts to know that, like, I guess I shouldn't say my people per se, but my race did something to this group, to all these indigenous people, to hundreds of thousands. Like, people are talking about millions of children that this happened to, and it it's really sad. It's really unfortunate. It's something that we still struggle to come to terms with today here in Canada. I know before every sporting event here in Canada, whether it's baseball, hockey, lacrosse, basketball, at least at every Raptors game that I've attended, they've always acknowledged that the land they're on, we're basically sitting on stolen land, which Canadians and Americans are both sitting on stolen land, although a little hard for some groups to accept that. We always at our sporting events before they start, we publicly declare that we know our history, we know our past, we know our fuck ups, we know that we're on stolen land that wasn't given to us at the moment. We do orange shirt Remembrance Day every year. They sell orange T-shirts, and all proceeds go to indigenous charities to help out the kids and communities across Canada. So that's something that's very cool. I know sporting events also do custom jerseys some nights. They'll do like heritage remembrance nights. A lot of the Raptors do. I believe all the hockey teams in the NHL across Canada and the Blue Jays do as well. They each get their own cool, unique logo for that night that they're playing. And they're usually designed by an indigenous person themselves from a local community from that sporting team. So that's pretty cool. And I know it's not a large amount of people, but there is a big group of Canadians that straight up just don't celebrate Canada Day anymore. I know me and my girlfriend are partially one of those some of those people. We don't celebrate Canada Day in the sense of like going out to parks and fireworks and celebrating and having a great fun day, acting like we deserve it. But we more have like a normal, chill, relaxed day. We don't go to work. I'll barbecue. I told her, I'm still gonna do that. We'll take a moment to reflect and remember our history and like what Canada was really built on, unfortunately. But I still gotta grill my weenie, guys. You know what's up. It's a really shameful thing to be a part of, knowing that this happened. And until 2021, you have to understand, like, very, very, very many people had no idea about this. Like, I obviously knew there's in Canada here, there's massive stigma around indigenous people and white people, crime, and, like, a lot not being done for them in communities. Like, I know there's still communities here in my province of Ontario where they still don't have running clean water on certain settlements, and I'm like, how the fuck is that even possible? And then, I was younger at the time, obviously. This was the past. And then I hear about this, and, like, what we were really built on, and, like, what we were doing to kids. I mean, like, younger than 8 years old, like, what we were doing to children, like babies, some of them. Like, it's horrific, it's cruel, and it's disgusting. I'm ashamed to know that my race took any part of that. Like, it was, for all intents and purposes, a cultural genocide. And it kind of, like, breaks my heart a little bit that we still have tons of people today here in Canada, white people, that don't want to acknowledge it, and they think it's all some bullshit. And I've seen it online, I've heard it out of my own ears going to Toronto Raptors games. Like, we're still doing this, like, they're still doing the cultural heritage, like, land acknowledgement before the game, and it's like, it's 10 seconds. Shut the fuck up. Stop being so stop being a monster. Anyway, guys, that's all for the video today. I know I got a little bit more in depth there, but I do think it is important. It's important for everybody to acknowledge their history, whether what their race or country has done to people that just did not deserve it, and for no reason more than to just commit genocide or culturally convert some people over to what they deem as right and wrong. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something from it. I'll leave a link down in the description below if you want to find out more of about indigenous problems here in Canada and how you can help. I do believe it's something that should be acknowledged, and it is important. And if you enjoyed any aspect of today's video, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe, as I am almost at 200 subscribers. Tomorrow will be day 9. I'll be back with another mental health fact and 4 more clips of push-ups for you guys. And until then, you all have a good day. Thank you for watching. Peace out.